Hey, how's it going? Happy release day of Vermintide II Alpha Versus Mode. I am very stoked about this. This is a formational game for me. This was a important one. Led to me getting a current job that I have, as I mentioned in my tweet, I think. Yeah, though, this was like the start of my interest in Warhammer Fantasy pretty much, and I've followed that pretty far at this point. Getting stuff in a canon, hell yeah. So I'm pretty stoked. I got to play a little of this earlier. It's kind of jank so far, but hey, still fun. They've been promising this for a long time. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I think it's kind of cool. I remain very happy and honored to be part of the team there. It's a bunch of really cool guys. Yeah, though, I'm stoked to get to know how to be the rats finally. I've wanted to play the fucking rat for so long. Like, I can't tell you in words how stoked I am. It has been a long road of them promising we would have the rats someday. I'm worried that, like, it's going to crash my OBS. I think I'm already getting, like, some kind of lag. It is a alpha build of this, so there may be some experimentation involved. I might have to turn down my bitrate a little bit here to accommodate. I had it working fine a second ago. What is killing me here? Power usage? I don't know. Anyway. I think my frame rate working. I want to get underway in just a second here. I want to play a lot of this because it's just come out and I'm worried that they're going to take it away from us again. Is it Warado? Second. More troubleshooting live. Alright, there we go. That's fine. I'll fix that later. I can be a creature today. The important thing is that there's gameplay, right? Hopefully with some of y'all, if anyone wants to come by and play. I am, you know, I can invite people through Discord, probably. There's some way to do it, at least. Hello. The creature is here. That's my best answer at this point. Yeah, though, it's an alpha. Stuff's gonna be buggy. That's fine. It's gonna be fun, hopefully. Yes, La Criatura appears. No idea why Vermintide doesn't play with my 3D very well. I'll figure that out later. The important thing is that the game itself plays well, which it mostly does, I think. Yeah, this is good. Here. Is this a good setup that I could just, like, peek from here? I'm kind of attempting to censor chat a little bit, because I doubt people are going to be super constructive. That's fine. And yeah, I'm going to just get into games here, because, hell yeah. The only map in the Versus beta, I think, is the default, like, first map of the first run-through in the game, so... No, I'm still getting some kind of lag here. God damn it. It is not optimized yet. I'm gonna bump down my actual window size too and see if that helps a little bit, but it may come and go also. Yeah, I'm a fucking rat! Let's go! So, from what I've played so far, yeah, I'm very squishy today. That's the reality of playing stuff that's in alpha still. So far the things that I've found are like the most effective are both the Rattling Gunners here and the Globadiers. Like there are two ranged classes the Skaven get basically, and both of them are strong here. Those are strong and Disables are strong. What's not strong is the Fire guy. There's a lot of Warhammer super fans here. Like, I've seen people with like names from 40k stuff and fantasy stuff all day. I played a couple hours of this when I got up because I was so hyped about it. All right, I'm gonna get this guy. This is basically like Left 4 Dead versus, right? It's the same idea. So the goal is to like isolate people, do damage as you can, you know, not get shot on the way in. There is a definite meta to like which of the classes have emerged as useful in this mode also. Some of the DLC careers are crazy powerful. Like Carillion, the Wood Elf, has a class that can just lift specials up and stun them for like 5 seconds, and that is crazy here. That and the new Sienna class, the Wizard, she has a like summon necromancy oriented skeleton build that just trivializes a lot of this because it's set to lower difficulty sort of to make up for the fact that players can hit you. Like if they did full damage, it'd be impossible, right? Like if it was Kata difficulty, which is the highest normal difficulty in the game, unmodded. It's interesting. The meta that'll emerge is going to be cool, I'm sure. I've just been trying to feel out, like, what's good as a rat, right? Because they've been promising Versus mode for years now, literally. Like, it was a teased feature at the start of Vermintide's development cycle. And now we're here, like, after it's been lowered to $6 on Steam, and finally there's Versus mode, after the release of Darktide even. I think I played the Darktide Alpha very briefly on here also, like, last year, before I was even really underway streaming. That was kind of cool. I'm not as crazy about Darktide as I am of Vermintide, though. I'm more into fantasy, you know? I think a more cohesive setting is preferable. It's more fun to write in, that's for sure. Just because you can tell local stories that'll always connect to one another. The scope of 40k is a little different. It's fun to tell like individual stories there, but because Warhammer 40k is spread across like hundreds and hundreds of planets, you kind of rely on, in an RPG setting, like when you're writing for the role-playing game, you rely on your GMs and your players to draw connections between different areas and build out campaigns, and it's harder for characters to recur that aren't part of the normal crew or like some really powerful antagonist just because of the lack of mobility. Speaking of lack of mobility, the entire team of heroes here has been splatted. That'll happen sometimes. It's a lot like Left 4 Dead versus, where if a couple people get chain grabbed by the disablers, they're out pretty fast. I've been really liking the little ranged rats, though, doing damage. At the end of the levels, like both in this and in regular Vermintide, you get different rankings of your damage sources and who did the most, who had the most disables, the most saves, etc. Do I have any valuable insights for those who are new to the Warhammer universe? Yes, I do. So, Warhammer is about corruption, first and foremost. It is about... Packmaster's been a joy, true. Warhammer is about a horrible, horrible tide of chaos slowly leaching into the real world and the consequences that that brings and the way that that relates to what people can accomplish through magic, what tempts them, what affects them, what shapes them as people. Everyone is at risk of corruption, and it is a setting where things slowly become more corrupt over time, and it's the responsibility of some brave people to try and fight against that, which is, in the fantasy setting, inevitable that they fail because the end times happen and things get bad enough, there's enough like horrible things in the world that the world ends effectively and is reborn in a worse franchise. So that is, I think, the most valuable insight into the Warhammer universe, is that it's about like the corruption of chaos specifically, this insidious force that slips into the world and affects things and just what that does. This is true in both 40k and in fantasy, by the way, although in fantasy, the exact nature of the metaphysics is a little bit different. Like in 40k, it's Psychana and Psychery, and the Warp, which is the source of corruption in 40k, is this like extra-dimensional psychic gestalt that is derived explicitly from like the consciousnesses of all people in the setting, all thinking things, all creatures with emotions and desires. Whereas in fantasy, it's like this magical other realm, the Empyrean, and they're sort of related. There's like certain indicators that they are in fact the same setting. If you go back far enough into White Dwarf, which is like the Warhammer magazine that used to release a lot of things like additions to the role-playing game or bonus packs for the army game, etc., etc. You'll see things like chain swords from 40k in fantasy. And they've kind of like peddled off that connection in recent years. It was a little sillier, a little less cohesive at one point. And we're into like the more serious era of things. Hey there, Nene. Doing some versus alpha. Feel free to drop in if you have Vermintide. I will be bringing people by to get in games. It is very fun. I've gotten to play a little bit. It is in development, very much so. I think it's like similar to the easy difficulty, like maybe champion. I'm not certain. It's been a while. Hey, thanks very much for the cheer. You know, the Warhammer TED Talk will be ongoing. I am happy to answer like other questions about the setting, but that is like my biggest tip to understanding the gist of it is corruption and like in the insidious force of chaos, etc. Boy, is this a little bit laggy. I'm not sure what is causing that exactly, but that's okay as long as the game comes through fine. Yeah, this like killed my water though. Anyhow, so the Skaven here are the only playable enemies that are currently accessible in the Versus Mode Alpha, but there are also Norscan cultists of chaos, and whereas the Skaven are kind of a result of chaos seeping into reality, they may be like twisted people, unlikely that they're a Beastman variant, that people theorize that. It might be like mutated rats. There's sort of a chaos god responsible for them, the Great Horned Rat, so that's a direct manifestation of just the general presence of chaos in reality. Meanwhile, they're teamed up with these Pact Sworn people. The Pact Sworn are this coalition of Skaven and Norskins, and the Norscan raiders that they're hanging out with are very corrupt. Like, they're infused with the juices of Nurgle, who's one of the big chaos gods in the setting. They're almost undead, but not quite at the most blessed of them. And they're teaming up because they're both forces of corruption in the world, and that's sort of what things are about. Corruption gets along really well, the chaos forces, sort of. There's a lot of infighting and all that, but very capable of putting everything aside for a good, fun time, which is not quite true of the forces of order, which is basically everyone else. Give me Beastman banners, give me Blightstormers, hopefully soon. We're playing with the Plague, yes, exactly. So, Nurgle, who's sort of the unifying god of all of the enemies here, he is a deity of life, so first and foremost, including bacteria, viruses, which are pseudo-alive, rot, fungus, that kind of thing. He's sort of he's one of the more complicated deities in this setting because he's got this really positive element to him. He's about the cyclical nature of growth and inevitably death as a result of that. So his blessed and the things that he infects have rampant growth in the form of like rot and fungus and disease because bacteria is a form of life. A fungal infection is a form of life. All of these things are sacred. Flies, things that scavenge and grow and break down flesh. And Nurgle is sort of what unifies all of them. So you've got these plague globadiers who throw off these poison orbs full of different poisons and diseases. You've got the rot priests who summon like blight tornadoes, just spinning winds of disease. We can't play them yet, but they're here. If your childhood friend wants you to get all Warhammer games, I would advise them. Yeah, I recommend these things. They're cool. Big fan of the setting, obviously. I work in it now. I'd have to be to pursue that, I think, but it's a cool thing. The Skaven are hideous. They're one of the most horrible, disgusting things in, I think, any fantasy media. Hey there, Thef. How's it going? We're talking about Warhammer lore here. The Skaven are hideous, and Nurgle likes them because they are pretty roundly infested with things. They're covered in, like, vermin, like smaller vermin. They have diseases of all sorts. And there's, like, a strong poison and plague like faction within them. Clan Pestilence, I believe, is the clan that is most represented here, and as said in the name, they're known for pestilence. They spread disease under like human cities and the like. It's all very gross. Like, the Skaven are pretty gross in general. In the second edition of the RPG, there was a book that covered them that detailed some of their social means and how they get along. And that involves all sorts of horrible things. Like, they chittered each other constantly. Like, they bruxate, like, which is what I think it's called when the teeth of a rodent, like, chatters together. Bruxation. They, furthermore, like, they urinate on each other. They're rats. They, like, show dominance in different ways. One is that they, like, raise and lower their heads to try and be above anyone who they're superior to and below anyone they're inferior to. So in, like, gatherings of rats, they start bobbing up and down. They're all trying to piss on each other because, like, that's how they mark territory. It's a sign of dominance also, because Skaven culture is all about dominance. They are disgusting little monsters. They constantly betray each other. Like, it's the standard to betray anyone you can the second it's possible. They push each other off high places for more food. They open fire on one another in combat scenarios. They're constantly, like, competing for warpstone, which is like cocaine. I'm firing warpstone bullets right now. Warpstone is like condensed corruption. I was talking about how corruption is like at the core of the setting. Warpstone is like just chaos juice. It is Dar, the mingled wind of dark magic crystallized together. Horrible stuff. Warpstone has a deleterious and corrupting effect on anyone that it touches, which is great for Skaven because they are sort of immune to its worst effects, thanks to the blessings of the Great Horned Rat, the chaos god that kind of gives them existence. But also, it is addictive, so they constantly need more. They, like, rub it into their guns, etc. Oh, yeah, the vampires in Warhammer are really cool, too. They have, like, a really classical vampirism thing going on in a lot of ways. Like, they got the proper vampire nobility right. We're doing pretty well here, by the way. This is the second round, and we're up on top of them. Yeah, they got, like, the classic necromancy. If you're familiar with, like, Curse of Strahd from D&D, I think there's some real connections between the tome that you get in Sylvania, which is, like, the province of the Empire that's run primarily by vampires, and, like, Curse of Strahd and what happens there, and I forget the name of the location from that, but the Strahd realm, the spooky one with all the, what are they called? The deliberately not Romanian folks. I think that the vampires and, like, undead have done better in Age of Sigmar, which is sort of the sequel, quote-unquote, to Warhammer Fantasy than a lot of the factions did. I think that some of the Ossiarch stuff is kind of cool. Just design-wise, like, I'm not a big fan of Age of Sigmar's design schemes in general. There's a lot of funny hats and things. I should probably use these, right? Yeah. Yeah, I want all this, don't I? I don't play this character. I got defaulted into it because of the hilarious alpha mode we're in. Hold on to Prowl. Yeah, sure, whatever. That's fine. Romania, it's another campaign. I thought that Curse of Strahd was set in, like, an area that was, like, deliberately meant to echo, like, Dracula. Like, that was the idea there. And then there's this, I've never played through it myself. I was, like, proximally familiar. My old 5e DM liked Strahd a lot and would talk about it, so I've got some by osmosis there. It's come up sometimes in, like, RPG circles, just talking about, like, the idea behind the campaign and the tones. I realize now that my presets to toggle on my little box are the same as my weapon keys, so that's fun. Yeah, though, Strahd comes up, like, in connection to Warhammer Fantasy, just in terms of the tone, because it's tonally a little closer to, like, Warhammer Fantasy playthroughs and campaigns than a lot of things in D&D. A little more grim, more focused on, like, emotional connections between people who have been, again, corrupted over time, and what that's done to like a local area. It's just constant nightmares. That's a big thing in Warhammer. Things tend to get bad. Cool. Yeah, the Skaven are little bastards is the important thing. Like, they've got, like, the most advanced technology in the setting. Like, you see these guys with these, like, steampunk cannons that fire warp fire. And this runs on their cocaine, and this is, like, more technologically advanced than I think any other faction. They have TVs and stuff, right? They have rat Skype, which is unique among the largely, like, Renaissance-era Germany-styled setting of Warhammer Fantasy. Like, the cutting-edge technology that you see elsewhere in Warhammer is, like, stuff like chocolate, right? Like, making chocolate that seals and sets. Like, that's good technology. Things like repeating guns, clockwork, that's advanced. The rats are on, like, proper, degenerate cocaine steampunk stuff. Like, they have their own project. It's impressive stuff. Ah, damn. Yeah, we've been beaten out here pretty well. I am not in a class that I'm familiar with. I have played, like, no Ranger Kruber, and Alpha is funny with, like, letting you select your stuff. They're doing a lobby system where whoever, like, they randomly select it. It's like an Apex Legends. If you're first in the lobby, you get to pick your character. Yes, sorry, I cannot be pelted in this form. This will hit me with items when I am in 3D, but because this is an alpha, it is destroying my Warudo, so I'm a glitchy little PNG. Good morning, Gwiz. How's it going? Exploring the versus alpha here. My whole team is complaining about being loaded in as people they don't play. Yeah, I feel that, I feel that. I do play the elf. Living with an accidental nap. I did the same thing last night. It fucked up my whole sleep schedule. I was almost proud of myself because I got a lot of rest as a result, but waking up like in the late evening is a weird feeling. Like, I've been trying to sleep a little bit better, and I have a futon couch like in my little workspace here. But the problem is that that's making my like sleep cycle interrupted by like futon nap at 11 p.m. and then waking up at like 1 is a real weird thing for your tempo, right? Alright, I'm gonna poison these guys. Can I like get out of here now? Yeah, kinda. No. The Globadiers do more damage than I think any of the other classes here, other than the, like, Gatling rats. Both of them have, like, high sustained damage over time. The one, they have to walk into you. The other, you have to, like, catch them as they're heading in as a group. Fun to play, though. Like, that's whittled down a lot of teams that I've seen. And then, obviously, the Disablers. If everybody gets disabled, you're just done. This thing sucks, though, the Warp Fire Thrower. Despite being very impressive, the Flame Rat here... should put lesbian in my tags. Oh my god. We're giving people a lot of info now. You're right, this is unrelated to Warhammer. So, I got permission from my boss, by the way, to stream Warhammer Fantasy stuff and like talk about like the RPG a little. I don't think I've talked to anybody in my team about being gay, but I can do that. Hang on. We're labeling me now. God. There's Lesbiana on there. Alright. Now we have the lesbian tank. Is this harder or easier for the survivors in Left 4 Dead 2 versus? I am gonna say it depends on your team comp, actually. So, the classes are nowhere near one another in terms of viability. Oh, they assume I'm gay, by the way. It doesn't come up. Like, the way I dress, I think it's obvious. I'm at least alternative in some way, right? Anyhow, yeah, I'm a fucking rat. Let's go. Come over here. Oh, that's precious. So, like, certain classes are way better for versus than some others, right? Oh, yeah, another Packmaster. Let's go. Hey, buddy, I'm a fucking rat. Oh, damn. That was cool. I love the Packmasters. They're horrible monsters. They are, like, the most monstrous thing here, so... There are different like enemy classes in this game. The way it does its itemization is that like you could have weapons that have power versus Skaven, power versus Norskins, who are the pack sworns, like human population, the corrupt humans they brought in, and then power versus monsters, and monsters include like really monstrous things like rat ogres, which are these like flesh enhanced monstrosities pumped up on warpstone juice. They're like Bane from Batman but for rats. Monsters like plague trolls, who are like regular trolls that are fed like vomitus and horrible poison until they start vomiting, corrupting juice. Monsters like storm fiends, who are also like Bane from Batman, but with a Gatling gun on their arm. They have like a little brain fetus thing bolted to their spinal columns also. The finest in rat technology to like help control them and like make their bulk work more nimbly, because they don't have much of a brain in there anymore. They're a little addled. Or monsters like Packmasters, who are just little monsters. They are horrible, horrible bastards, and they are classified as monsters just because what they do is they drag people back to the Skaven pits and then take them as slaves. And the Skaven are well known for enslaving anything they can and making them work in their disgusting rat holes, and they are just terrible, terrible critters. And the Packmasters do all that. They also have Ninja, the gutter runners, goblin-esque. Oh, the goblins are a whole other thing. I actually got to write goblins for one of the recent Warhammer Fantasy pieces, Tribes and Tribulations, which came out a while back. It was top 5 on Drive-Thru RPG. Really proud of the work we did there. I got to write Skarsnik, among other things there, who is the preeminent goblin of Karak 8 Peaks. He's like the public enemy #1 for the dwarven people in Warhammer. Another horrible little bastard. Like, it is goblin-esque. They also are enslavers and like horrible little monsters. They also constantly betray each other. Skaven have like a different kind of energy to them. Like, they're more like earnestly evil and comparably inept. Like, both the Skaven and the goblins have like a comedic edge to them, that they fuck up things in dramatic ways. The most famous Skaven, Thanquol, who shows up in the Gotrek and Felix novels, if you're familiar with Gotrek or have ever heard of those, he manages to like fall upwards by causing massive problems to everyone else. Yes, the mutant breeding programs. So they're like horrible hulking monstrosities are made partly of like flesh they harvest from captives and the like. It's a hideous thing. Nothing good happens in Skaven Undercities. Another fun factoid about them is that they are rumors. They are not like believed in by much of the human population. Things like beastmen are like right in their face, and they kind of mask the Skaven threat as like, oh, rat-like beastmen, etc., or just big old plain rats. Rat catching is an important job in the Empire, which is the generally gone-to setting for Warhammer Fantasy things, but the Skaven themselves are unknown by most people in the population. They kind of get away with stuff. They scurry and hide.
I am become shadow.
Also, hi, if anybody from work is watching. Haha. Yeah, there are a few Skaven clans with different concentrations. One of them is the clan that's responsible for most of their ninja craft. They have the gutter runners and various assassins that are part of the Skaven. Those are trained from varying sources given the lore. They definitely have ninjas. So originally the Skaven ninja types were yeah, hi Vera's co-workers. They literally studied under ninjas there, right? Like, so Nippon is an old lore, the Japan analog. I don't know if that's something we're pushing anymore. We haven't seen much of Nippon in a while, but Cathay at least has like some Eastern influence things. I think that was like the most recent. I would have to go check in the most recent like publication. We did some like coverage of the Skaven clans for one of the Enemy Within campaign supplements, but The Skaven ninjas have studied under the setting's actual ninjas, basically. They have a unique magical lore called the Lore of Stealth. They have shuriken. When they die, they explode into smoke. They're, like, rigged to not leave behind a corpse because they're excellent ninjas. Like, it's that kind of thing. It's that good. They have, like, water walking techniques and can blend into the shadows and stuff. It's outrageous. And of course, they have warpstone fighting claws, right? It's like warpstone shuriken, warpstone fighting claws. The same stuff that's rat cocaine is also the source of their power. They bite it and cast better. They use it in their weaponry because it's bad for everything that isn't them. Yes, the playable gutter runners are that clan exactly. Under the impression they're like World War I army analogs, some of them. So there are things like Skaven Jezzails, right? They have like these rifles that are too big for a single rat, so instead they take two. And like rats will work in teams for gunnery and such. They have proper artillery, which is rare. Like they have rattling catapults and trebuchets, but also cannonry. So, like, you see some, like, proper old-school trench technology in their, like, underground tunnels. They do dig trenches because they dig tunnels and holes. But they have a few different inspirations. Like, ninjas are one of them, like, legitimate ninjas. At this point, because we've sort of put less focus on Cathay and Nippon in, like, the Eastern analogs in recent years, they have, like, the most ninja representation in the entirety. Your knowledge comes from the Total War spin-offs. That is a good place to get the knowledge. The Total War spin-offs are really cool. Would recommend. Great fun in like a group also. Do some like campaigns and such. Yes, they have Skaven Skype. I was talking about Rat Skype earlier. They definitely have radio communication. They definitely have like TV screen telecommunications thanks to Warpstone. Apparently, if you can survive this stuff, it's really, really good for you. I don't think I have any talents. Yeah, the rats are like high-tech. Ah, I reset my talents, I see. Hello. Yeah, this guy's a ninja. See how he doesn't leave behind a corpse? Oh, my teammate has exploded me. I've had a... Uh-oh. Little detonation there, that's fine. I am not getting temp health right now because my temp health talent is disabled. And you know what? I bet that's true for this one, too. Hey, Sienna. I really like the writing in this game, though. Like, compared to Darktide, I prefer Vermintide by a whole lot, mostly because the characters are proper individuals. Like, with Darktide, the concept was to make it so that, like, your characters are really part of an inquisitorial warband. They wanted to, like, drive home verisimilitude for your character creation experience. As a result, you can, like, pick your background, design your character, and all that. But it takes some of the personality out, because now you've got these characters that are not really their own persons, but instead are a little more faceless, which fits the setting. It fits 40k. Hey, Savantismo! Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to Versus Mode. If you want to drop in, let me know. Anyone's welcome, by the way. I'd love to do some, like, groups, queuing. Could use all the help we can get. Just comparing Vermintide to Darktide right now. Is it disabled because of balancing? No, it is disabled because this is alpha, and it does not respect your actual talents and traits and things. Nene sent you? Very cool, very cool. Appreciate that a lot. Yeah, though, Darktide. So the character creator there means that, like, you're picking out a planet of origin, a vibe, a voice for your character. But all of those have to interact with each other, so you have fewer character-specific interactions. Like, the characters in Vermintide have a ton of personality. You've got Carillion, the Azrai Wanderer, who may or may not be responsible for some of the problems the other characters have experienced. You've got Saltspire, your prototypical witch hunter, always wary of corruption and what it can bring. You've got Sienna, the apparently very corruptible witch, who he has a fiery relationship with. She's a flame-using Akshi wielder. You've got Kruber, the everyman of the Empire, salt of the earth sergeant Marcus Kruber, a real hero to the people. You've got Barden Gorikson, last but not least, definitely least in stature, the Dwarfen Ranger and Wanderer, who's out there getting caught up in things outside of the more insular community that he's familiar with. It's cool, it's cool. Like, they all have, like, foils with each other, very different personalities, and in Darktide, you could have, like, 4 fucking Oghren, which is cute and all, but boy howdy. Is that not scintillating dialogue? Oghren are like a form of abhuman, which is like a sanctioned mutant. Mutants are kind of reviled both in 40k and fantasy, but in 40k they're sanctioned in like certain places if they fall under like a particularly stable characteristic of mutants. Like felinids are the ones I like to talk about. There are cat girls in 40k. Alright. The Oghrens are like childlike. They are giants that have like real like they talk like 5-year-olds a lot of the time. They need like head implants to communicate more clearly, and they're very naive. And like you can have a party of 4 of them. They can all be the same character exactly, which is like funny to look at, but not great from a narrative perspective. Anyway, yes, what balances out like the Skaven technology is that it explodes because it does run on magic cocaine, and that is volatile. Like the warpstone stuff, even in its base state, it's dangerous, right? Hey, Silent45S, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome to the janky ass alpha stream. Oh hey, 123, follower goal achieved. Thank you so much. Hell yeah. Now that I've accomplished this number goal, I'm there. I finally reached relevance. All my dreams are achieved, thanks to you. Now I mean something on the internet. Fuck yeah. Really though, thank you very much. Just rambling about Warhammer Fantasy stuff. If you have any questions about the setting, things you're interested in, I'd love to talk about it. I work on the game. One of my favorite topics, just by a mile. I love Skaven in particular because they're so fucking awful, so I'm always happy to go on about those. Next goal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I will be the first person on Twitch with 10 digits in followers. That's the goal. Logan Paul, eat your heart out. I want to fry these guys. I've got cover now. Yeah, let's go. The elf here is playing the Sister of the Thorn, who is, I think, the most irritating class to play against on the survivor side. She can literally just levitate specials for like 3 seconds because she's got god power. Her arc is a little disappointing to me. Like, all of the characters have a DLC career that like takes their character in some wild direction. Because of Tzeentch, the chaos god of change and fate, there's funny stuff happening here, and every career the characters can be is equally canon, because all of those realities exist at the same time, because it's more fun that way, and Tzeentch is funny. So, all of the characters' DLC careers are like some extreme possibility for their development as people, like some really unusual path that they can take. Like Barden becomes like an engineer, which is like a very fancy thing for a dwarf. Takes a lot of study, very complicated. Kruber is chosen as a Grail Knight, which is a sort of divine figure from the Bretonnian nobility. He discovers some like ancient tie to like the pseudo-France, pseudo-Arthurian part of the setting. It's down southwest of the Empire. Sienna becomes a necromancer. Carillion becomes a Sister of the Thorn, which is basically a handmaiden to the goddess that runs the magical forest that she hails from, which is a very funny unit in that it is like quasi-divine channeling all the time. There was another possibility for that I wish they had gone with, which is war dancers, who are also sort of channeling divinity, but that would have been too risque, I guess. They're known for talismanic tattoos, dancing, nudity, etc. Slightly different vibe. The Sister is a bark-skinned kind of disabler, summons literal thorns and things, runs on all sorts of magic power from the forest, very fancy, very strong. Yeah, the other divine force in the like DLC careers is Victor Saltzpyre. So like he's the Inquisitors in the setting are mostly servants of Sigmar, as opposed to in 40k where like there's the God Emperor and everyone sort of cleaves to his divinity or else, and the Inquisitors ensure that. Because the fantasy setting is polytheistic, the Inquisitors mostly are from the Order of the Silver Hammer, which is a Sigmarite cult. The Empire is sort of a Sigmarite institution anyway. Shade plus nudity equals war dancer, true. We missed out, honestly. It could have been so good. Imagine like the blend special where you just like do Dante moves all the way through a crowd, start spinning. I want to be in that timeline. Tzeentch, please. Yeah, though, Shade is a funny career also lore-wise because Carillion is basically a dark elf in that. They never really explain it, but it's highlighted in some of the lore or tidbits they offer. If you ever get into this game or you're into Warhammer Fantasy in general, I would definitely advise like reading the lore diaries made in character by Franz Lohner, who's sort of the housekeeper of the keep that you use as your base. He's like connected to all sorts of spies in the Empire. Sort of like a 007's background crew, if that makes sense. You've got like a at-home squad between him and the shadow wizard Alicia, who helps with your transport and all that. War dancers are kind of shadow magic aligned too, which is something I like. Haha. I'm the local like wood elf nerd on the Warhammer team, so Carillion is a big favorite. That's her in the chat, preventing any bad things from being said by the people I'm playing with. I learned this tech from MMO streamers. You want to do this. The Warhammer community can be particularly based sometimes, so... I remember that playing Return of Reckoning, the MMO, which was sort of ill-fated. There's a private server for it up now, and that's been going longer, I think, at this point, than the actual game was up. Yeah, that's to prevent, like, based things from showing up, because my impression of, like, the broader Warhammer Fantasy community was shaped forever by, like, joining a Discord call for, like, Realm PvP in the MMO, and boy, did some, like, dude from, I don't even know what part of, like, Western Europe it was. It might have been, like, Norway. He was, like, saying some stuff. He had all sorts of opinions, and he was just, like, letting go, and... I guess the thought was that that was cool to do, like when we were grouping up for incidental world PvP, like 4v4s, but I will never forget. So I'm afraid I'm going to run into that guy who's going to have like hot takes about like some of the other players in game at any moment. We're just going to like leave that covered by Carillion there, because like who doesn't love Carillion, right? They're about to clear this, which is probably inevitable at this point. The first part of each of these 3 sections is usually the easiest. We did not do very well in contrast, haha. Maybe if I can set up my skills, I'll help more. I'm a fucking rat! Hell yeah. Missing out on the detailed combat analysis, I'm sure, yeah. Mostly people have been saying nothing or complaining about people leaving. Those are the 2 things I've seen most frequently so far. I'm gonna try and restart Wardo after this. I think that if I like adjust the size of the game itself, I can make it work, maybe. Yeah, they're posting dancing emotes in chat. I think the metaphysics of fantasy are really cool, though. Like, I was talking about shadow magic there, and I talked about fire magic earlier in relation to Sienna. Hell yeah, dance on. We have the groovy tag for a reason. Yeah, in fantasy, Warhammer, the magic is divided into 8 winds of magic. 8 is the number of chaos in both things, but it's properly divided into different winds with different attitudes, vibes, energies, aptitudes, and so on, that are attracted to different colors, different personalities, different kinds of items and situations. It's very cool. Your Norwegian neighbors can be kind of cringe. Yeah, I would describe the stuff this dude was saying to me as kind of cringe. I don't know, like, why he got the vibe that I would be okay hearing all that. I'm not going to repeat it here. I don't want to go into detail, but I was shook. And you like how sometimes La Criatura lags out and just gets really stretched? I do too. I wish it was on purpose. This game is notoriously, like, kind of hard to run. And, yeah. The game is running fine itself, but like it is definitely turning my PC into a space heater. I don't know how people are running this. Like I saw a lot of VTubers playing the alpha earlier, and they're not like lagged the all fuck. I don't know why it's just me. I blame chaos. All right, I can hit these guys from here. Getting the sick angle with the rattling gun is what's important. Of course, both of these guys have shields, which makes it a little harder. Yeah, you can blame chaos for anything, and it works, right? Like, that's part of the appeal, is that it could be responsible for whatever. Alright. These guys are doing all kinds of stuff. They're immune, and then they're headshotting. They could have 2 PCs, one for games and one for stream/model. You can do that? What the fuck? How do I do that? I can run my PNG tube on my laptop. I can do that. This is like a bouncing pixel. I don't know why the fuck it's all lagged out. The Skaven are too powerful. It's the Warpstone. My computer doesn't run on Warpstone yet. I need the upgrade. I had like a big processor upgrade recently, but I didn't stick any glowing crystals into it, so I'm without, you know, I'm lacking. You never want to be caught lacking in the Skaven PC game. Which, again, is a real thing. They have rat Skype. God. I want to be fancy. How do I be fancy? I already feel fancy. I got like 2 monitors in front of me. That's fancy. One of them's got like the bouncing creature on it. Ah, magic in 40K. Yes, ADD, excuse me. So, metaphysically, the warp is a similar thing. The warp in the warp, the Empyrean, they behave in similar ways. The demons are the same, but the explanations behind them are different. So I talked earlier about how in 40K, the Empyrean is this sort of gestalt of all of the desires and things that people experience in the world, all of their wishes, emotions, their most bitter parts, their best parts, etc., etc. In fantasy, it's a little bit like the other way around. Oh, thank you so much for the follow! Appreciate that, Nub. Neo 4kill. Thanks so much. Just talking about fantasy 40K, comparing the metaphysics of both. So the idea is that in fantasy, there is an other world. There is this like dimension of magic, and that dimension of magic is filling the space between different worlds. And at any time, like, that can leak into reality. The old ones in fantasy are this like super advanced starfaring race that could navigate through that space and created gates to do so with. And then those gates eventually broke and made that pure magical energy just filter into the world of Warhammer, right? The known world. And the consequences of that involve chaos and all that, because like the raw, unfiltered magic stuff is just raw chaos energy. It can congeal into demons. It's thoroughly magic and dangerous. It has deleterious, mutating effects on flesh, which aren't meant to hold that much magic. And it has 8 attitudes that it can be separated into.
Shoot the downed elf.
Ooh, we have voice chat. Wait a minute.
She got shielded.
I didn't know about this. I like that. Anyway, in 40K,
someone goes down while you're a rattling gunner.
it's all psychic effects, right?
You shoot them. It kills them.
Like, it's all psychana and like direct connections to making things happen. Oh my god, my PNG tube has crashed now. Jesus Christ. I'm hardly a VTuber anymore. There's no V. So the Empyrean in 40K is just psychery. You can do fucking anything. Like, the magic is like throw your hands up, make a deal with the demon, do something,
really need
right?
to kill her too.
What's not magic is psychery. There's this distinction in 40K between like psychic magic, which is sanctioned, the word sanction is used, like approved by the imperial powers that be. And that's done sort of based on focus, like you just try really hard. It's experienced differently. There's like a synesthetic effect to it.
Really regretting you
what
not
creature
killing
gone?
her there.
Yeah, I'm trying my best. I want to be the Carillion, damn it. Yeah, that's me on the left now. I'm smug Carillion. I resemble Carillion a little bit. So in 40K, it's magic, which is done through deals with demons, basically, specific rites and rituals, or like psychery that is done impulsively and divided into like sub-schools. Like, psychery has schools like pyromancy, which makes fire. Oh, I'm back. Oh my god, I'm huge too. This game eats my computer alive. Anyway.
Yeah.
You got biomancy, which affects the flesh. There's a lot of good stuff to it, right? Like, these schools are sort of general, like, people can veer toward one or another as part of training, but most people are well-suited to one or the other. Like, you've got schools like divination that see the future and can alter it a little bit. Biomancy's flesh-mancing. There's sanctic demonology, and, like, which is very priestly and sacred. It's shaped by the desire to do well in the eyes of the emperor and that religion. You don't get that in fantasy. It's all study. And when it's not study, it's witchcraft. So despite the fact that the source of the power is like the realm of magic or the realm of chaos in both cases, just metaphysically it's very different. Like, humans in fantasy have to study a wind of magic, or they have like various challenges, right? Here, let me be less huge. Studying multiple winds can like meddle the way that they interact with you. I mentioned earlier that magic is not stored well by the body. This is a problem for some people because, haha, they start to mutate a little bit. These are called arcane marks, to be polite, that can be crazy things. Like Sienna, the fire wizard here in this game, has like flaming hair. That's an arcane mark. Glowing flames, embers in her skin. These are also mutations, kind of, but they're more stable and predictable, so they get a pass. That kind of cute thing doesn't really happen in 40k. You like erupt into tentacles or nothing. Like it's all the way. Because there's no way to divide out the winds, which is what they do in fantasy to like make things safer, right? You're just channeling. You become safer when you're channeling Psychana in 40k by like a direct connection to the God Emperor of mankind. That's part of his shtick, is that he's able to anchor people and protect them from like the worst effects of chaos. But in fantasy, you're just sort of going, uh-oh, and the game has crashed. Very nice. Yay! Alpha! It's an interesting thing. Like in fantasy, there's harmonious ways to use magic also. Like Keish, the high elf, devised means of like using all the winds in harmonious concert. In 40k, the best you get is like the Sanctic stuff, which is basically just invoking the Emperor as a chaos god. Hot take. You read the God Emperor navigates ships through the warp. Yes, so warp travel, I mentioned that the old ones in fantasy used the realm of chaos, realm of magic as sort of like a shortcut between physical destinations. The same thing happens in 40k, because the metaphysics are similar, right? They're not exactly the same, but they're very similar. So, very similar. So, the warp can be used because it's not like a physical space to collapse different locations into each other. You can make wormholes through it, right? And the way that this is done is with a really powerful warp engine that runs on a battery of like psychic energy. But to safely pass through the warp is dangerous, right? Because the stuff that's there is like horrible. It mutates you, it turns you into a gremlin. Demons live there. You don't want anything to do with those. They're very dangerous. So in order to successfully navigate the warp, you need to enforce reality on it, which is done in 40k by using so-called psychic batteries. And a psychic battery is made of a person. A lucky psyker who usually doesn't volunteer for this gets put in a funny little scream box where they're reminded of home, and they forcibly invoke real space, which is what that's referred to. Like, everything that isn't the warp is real space, on the area around their ship, and that's what prevents demons from just erupting everywhere when you get there. This is called the Geller field, and that's a really important part of travel in 40k. Certain species have other means of like navigating the galaxy, like the space elves, the Eldar, have this thing called the webway that used to work really well and then kind of broke and got really fucked up, and that led to certain dark elf adventures, the Drukhari in that setting, who are less horrible in fantasy. Let's see if this runs right, and if this does, I can maybe restart 3D. Yes, though, the God Emperor sends ships through the warp. They're blessed, so they're safe. Haha, everything's fine. Not really. A lot of ships go missing in the warp. There are like statistics about this in some of the 40k novels. It's something like more than half of all warp-faring vessels just fucking disappear in there. It's a very dangerous place. The Geller fields fluctuate. If they do, demons start appearing. If demons start appearing, corruption starts spreading. If corruption starts spreading, even if you survive, you won't once the Inquisitor finds you. It is an unforgiving setting. Things are very dangerous. Fantasy is a little more lighthearted. There are a lot of unsanctioned magic users who are ultimately close to harmless. Fantasy is a little more fueled by misunderstandings and sadness. Like, there are genuinely innocent people more often in that setting, right? Like, one of the 40k settings is that no one is innocent, sayings rather. Like, Inquisitors are sort of given license to interrogate people until they find some failing, and then once they do, they're purged. But in fantasy, like, the Witch Hunter's orders, while still feared, are a little more reasonable. They're less hideous. Nah, turn off the Geller fields, let Nurgle into your ships. I mean, that could get you, like, cool powers, right? There are some Pack-sworn specials who seem to have benefited from Nurgle's love pretty well out here. But I think that most people can expect that to end up with like a big forehead horn. Nurgle is known for Nurgle's pox, which is a really hideous disease that like slowly turns you into a demon. And he likes it when you struggle. Nurgle's big on the conflict. He likes the resistance, right? Because it's inevitable. The cycle's gonna happen, baby. But he likes watching people engage with it. Nurgle's rot, yes, excuse me. I'm being corrected by the true expert. Anyway, the important thing is that it slowly turns you into a plague bearer, which is his sort of basic demonic buddy. Yep. It inevitably, incurably will... Oh god, is this crashed again? No, we've been defeated. Great. I guess at this point you can't, like, pass their team score. Exciting, exciting. I like the moonwalking. Yeah, though, I think he's one of the only... he might be the only god that just turns people into demons on the regular. Usually that takes, like, a lot of faith and, doesn't go so well, because the goal of many Chaos followers is to become something called a Demon Prince. This is true both in Fantasy and in 40k. Demon Princes are sort of singular entities that have ascended to daemonhood from the human population. And they're very esteemed creatures. They are immortal, effectively. They are generally, like, big heroes, quote-unquote, of the demonic forces. Characters like Valkia the Bloody are esteemed Demon Princes, so on, so on. And Nurgle just makes you a demon. Like, you want to get sick? Sure, don't watch your hands. You can be a demon. You know, I appreciate the correction. I am no true expert, despite working on the thing. They gotta drink the demonic Kool-Aid to ascend. Yes, you have to have some amount of buy-in. And a lot of people with buy-in just wind up as, like, chaos spawn, right? Because blessings come in the form of mutations, and if you get more mutations than you can handle, you turn into a lumpy mess, which is a boss type in this game. The spawn are cute. They don't really have much of an intellect left, but they are surely beloved by the Chaos Gods. They are so covered in mutations. They're just lumpy messes of tendrils and mouths, and in some, like, Norscan tribes and fantasy, they're, like, revered as, like, very cool. Like, they're like, oh, cool, this is a blessing. Some beastmen feel the same way. They make good leadership because they don't have a lot of strong opinions, too. Here's this guy. GG, he's called, and he's running the other way. What is he up to? GG here is... He's fucking going. I've got a couple griefers while playing this so far, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was literally just on a mission to hang out at spawn the whole game. People seem, like, somewhat motivated to just, like, hang out and take as much damage as possible. Yeah, though, Nurgle's rot is inevitable. It is one of the few ways to get a guaranteed death in Warhammer Fantasy, the role-playing game. So, if you don't spend a meta point, there are meta points in 4th edition that you can use to survive things that would otherwise be fatal. You have to use a meta point to avoid contracting Nurgle's rot, because if you don't, you inevitably die of Nurgle's rot. There is no cure, there is nothing you can do. You will turn into a demon at some point unless you are put out of your misery. And it will be miserable because, boy, does it take everything from you first. Nurgle loves the struggle, so it's a horrible, gross thing that is probably carried by a lot of the Pact-Sworn types, right? Like, we haven't seen a lot of the Norscan forces because this is, like, so rat-focused. They only finish the rats. That's all that's playable, is you can be, like, a Poison Wind Globadier, a Warp Fire Thrower, etc., etc. But the Norscan forces are, like, stocked with mostly, like, emaciated, clearly very sick guys with, like, sacks on their heads, as opposed to the slave rats, who are, like, the lowest caste of rat society. And, like, whereas the rats are, like, so weak because, you know, Skaven society is like that. It's pretty bad there. They don't get food because they're enslaved, and they don't get any kind of resources. They have to fight for all that or steal. It's all bad stuff. The Norskins are just sick, and the tough ones are the ones who've learned to enjoy being sick. Because if you can, like, ride out the illness and stuff from being a worshiper of Nurgle, you become ungodly, like, strong. They gain this, like, superhuman endurance. The diseases all start to cancel each other out. It's like that Mr. Burns bit where he contracts everything, but they can't get through the door. You turn into either a plague bearer. If you resist it long enough, you became a plague-ridden. Yep. And if you resist it for a really long time, you might even be a demon prince legit. Nurgle likes that. He's interested by, like, the real champs who just endure. But good luck. It's a rough deal. He does it out of love, though. Nurgle is like the most sort of positive chaos god. Some of them are just nasty. Like, Khorne is a bad dude, not a very happy person. A lot of rage there. Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. I think everyone's heard that shtick. Very accurate, very straightforward. He's mad, he wants you to be mad. Nurgle's got his whole, like, paternal aspect, right? It's friendly, almost. At least they're having a good time.
On your feet, wizard!
And, like, if you're gonna fall to chaos, you might as well have a good time. There are a few lesser chaos deities that have shown up in the old canon also. I think copyright is a little vague for some of them. Like, I believe Nikali is one of them. There was another one that's like the, like an ambivalent god, sort of. The god of, like, not believing. I'd have to go back. I think Nikoho might be another one. Those have not been, like, properly in canon for a long time, but at one point there was a little more complication in the chaos divinity element of things. Now I think it's down to, like, the big four and the great horned rat, more or less. Hey there, Fetchy. Welcome, welcome. Just talking about chaos gods and chaos and experiencing the jank of the alpha. My last experience with Khorne was when Karn the Betrayer betrayed my entire squad of Chaos Space Marines on tabletop. Yeah, that sounds right. He is known to betray. It's in the title there, you know, the Betrayer. Khorne has a lot of problem with Betrayers, actually. I believe that Scarbrand is sort of favorite demon, is his favorite demon because he hates him so much. Like, Khorne's an angry guy, and he likes that he's got a Bloodletter who's so fucking angry that he'll attack him too. Nurgle is both the friendliest and cruelest chaos god. You could be following Khorne and Nurgle can outright claim you. He also loves just making someone suffer until they dedicate themselves. Yup, he likes the process of the cycle. He's interested in it. Watching someone's body become a breeding ground for countless forms of new life. It's a very gross, very thorough, very inevitable thing. He is hard to get away from once you are infected. Khorne is more like, Khorne tempts people, right? Because, like, the kind of person that Khorne attracts is kind of possessed and disposed to that way anyway, right? Like, Nurgle's interested in the kind of person that'll resist him properly, the sort that'll really struggle. Got an elimination on someone with a plague globe here, by the way. I'm sure that what's in these is no good. Like, there's definitely warpstone in this little orb, but what else there is? Some kind of disease, rat piss. They have a lot of rat piss, remember? Probably all sorts of other stuff. We're getting a couple of actual kills here, aren't we? Maybe things are gonna be okay. It's just this, elfin name. This looks remarkably like a high elf name. I struggle with elf names, by the way. I'm writing elves right now for the new fantasy book. We're doing the Ulthuan thing that was teased at Gen Con this year, and it is hard to name high elves, dude. It's like a whole thing, because they've got these portmanteau names where they like put two words together. Like, a lot of those are the aliases they go by in human culture, but not always, because sometimes you read an elf book from an elf perspective and you've got like Captain Seasong or whatever. It's an interesting thing. There's been a lot of like looking at the different vowel shapes that you see in like canon Aesir names. Aesir are the high elves in fantasy, by the way. All right, how we doing? We're ahead by a little bit somehow. Easy win, easy win. I like this guy making calls in chat too. I guess I've carefully hidden that, but there's a little strategy happening. There's consideration being made as to who gets targeted. Yeah, though I think that Khorne gets a lot of... Hey there, Tani. Stinky. Yeah, everything's stinky today. We're playing fucking rats. I don't know why the fuck I'm Sienna. I didn't want to play Sienna. Can I like change my talents? I'm getting assigned random shit. All right, multiple. Sure, whatever. Yep, that's good. That's all great. I'm sure these are like the strongest. Yeah, all right. There. Now I'm the strongest. I was playing the proper Stinky a second ago. Now we're fighting through the Stinky. I was talking about some Skaven lore earlier. They really are fucking stinky. Big part of Skaven culture is just urinating on each other. Love Sienna, true. Bless her heart. She's the team mom. I like that about her. Despite being also the team hothead, literal. Haha, firehead. I was talking about arcane marks earlier, the like sort of mutation people can get from being like really strongly associated with one wind of magic. She has one. That's what the flame is. Totally cool, kind of, almost. Makes people uncomfortable, not illegal. Uh-oh. I hope I have temp HP generation now. A lot of people are like joining and leaving this match. I was having a really bad problem earlier today. Like, I tested some of this, I swear. Like, the fact that it breaks my model, that was an oversight, but the game works now. Old mods have, like, fried this shit. Like, the new UI, they changed the UI to be like Darktide's UI, by the way, which I hate, but they also put in, this tag system, and there's, like, Skaven UI, and my shit would crash every time I played as the rat, and I was sobbing, because, like, all I want to do is play as the fucking rat, right? That's all I've wanted for, like, years. You play this a little bit, you're like playing as a Sister of the Thorn, the Nature Mage Elf. Yes, the Sister is very cool. The Sister is very annoying in this mode because it is a full disable on specials, which is frustrating when you are the special, believe it or not. A little bit of a challenge to navigate. Yeah, the Sisters are very cool. They are sort of like the handmaidens of Ariel. The Azrai, the Wood Elves who live in the magical forest to the southwest of the Empire, bordering Bretonnia, where Kruber's Grail Knight is from, they are bound to the forest by really ancient spirit pacts. So very early on in the setting of Warhammer, the Big Fuckening happened, and the Big Fuckening is when the Chaos Gates broke, because the old ones used them for transport, and then, uh-oh, now it's just a magical flood. And a lot of fucked up things happened. The High Elves' island home was swarmed by demons. Everything was bad. And during the demonic incursion, the children of the Everqueen and the Phoenix, and the children of the Everqueen like went missing. And they were saved, actually, because they were in this magical forest on the island that was connected to Athel Loren, which is the big magical forest the Azrai now are from, including Carillion. So when they were saved by these forest spirits and like brought to safety there, they made several spirit pacts regarding their protection and what kind of lifestyle they were entitled to while residing in the forest. And their descendants and the clan that came from that, this like whole group of elves that still reside there, are bound to the forest like on a level of their soul as a result. So the Sisters of the Thorn are more bound than anyone. They are like really married to the forest. They are infused with some amount of divine power, which is sort of channeled through Ariel, who is the Queen of the Wood. She is an aspect of the elven mother god, effectively. There's sort of this divine connection there, but she's more like an avatar than an actual like presence of the divinity, because the Everqueen, who is a matrilineal line, there have been more than one, despite her being the Everqueen, they've gone through a couple. She's also an aspect of this deity. Isha, the mother god, sort of. Anyway, the Sisters of the Thorn are both, like, Isha aligned, and more importantly, they are, like, channeling the divine power of the forest itself. We have, there's a lot of lore about what makes Athel Loren divine and, like, where that power comes from. The Azrai, like, pantheonic mandala, like, all the elves have, like, a fucking mandala, right? Like, a wheel that shows different images that represent their gods for the pantheon, and each, like, variety of elf, dark elves, wood elves, and high elves, is a different one of these, and the wood elf one includes forest spirits, unlike the other ones. There have been a few forms of those, like the Orion books, which covered the husband of Isha's avatar, Ariel, Kurnus' avatar, Orion, haha, cover this a little bit. There are ancient nature spirits known as the Bruid, who are sort of predecessors to the elves coming to the forest, and I like those a lot. They haven't gotten a lot of coverage recently, but they're very cool. You can read about them in the Darius Hinks Vaults of Winter trilogy with Orion. Yes, the Wood Elf lore is cool as fuck. I have bridged into my personal hyperfixation. Welcome, we are here. I fucking love the Azrai very much. And yeah, I do want to be the stinky old rat though. Like, I really want to just be a. I want to play the Skaven. It's so much fun. I've played enough like Carillion, right? I've done a lot of the like high difficulty pushing in this game. I used to play modded difficulty like Cata 3, Onslaught, etc.
Not yet.
That was a big deal a few years back, but now I just want to be a gutter runner. I want to stab people.
I have you, Master Dwarf.
Yes, though, Azrai lore is like my personal obsession in the setting. Big fan of the elf lore in general. I think their deities are the most interesting because of the way that they approach their worshippers, which is almost not at all except through like weird synchronicity. They have prophetic dreams and stuff a lot of the time. They express worship through practice, which I think is cool. Like, human priests tend to do a lot of like overt prayer, and they're given miracles on behalf of the deities. Like they can invoke things like meteors falling from the sky, right? And that's all very powerful. Obviously blessed. Elven priests do something more like casting. Like they use magic the god will like, and they worship by living in a way that resembles what the god is interested in. It's less common for services to be held outside of like specific events and things, right? There's no like Sunday church equivalent. They don't go to morning sermon. Personal shrines and things are common. They have these like really deep personal connections to deities, which you see in characters like the Sister of the Thorn that Carillion is, because that is an example of one of those connections becoming like very strong and overt. She is plugged into that source of divine power, and as a result, she can summon thorns and levitate things and turn into bark, kind of. That happens for a few of like the really nature-associated Wood Elf careers. Like the Orion has like these wild riders of Kurnus that are also sort of affected by the forest. They get green skin and all that. It's a cool thing. Alright, we are kind of behind here, aren't we? This is near the end of this level. I think the safe zone is like literally on the other side, so if Alisphere and Gemji here can get there.
Let's go, Gorikson.
Uh-oh. Getting pummeled there. I like Aethelurn a lot. I think it's interesting stuff. Another cool thing vaguely related to the sort of fast travel that I was talking about that the old ones use in fantasy and that warp travel uses in 40k is this element of... Uh-oh. Are we crashing? I think we're crashing. Yep. Nice. Hell yeah. Let me see if this is brave enough that I can restart my model here. Maybe this will work now. It's going right out again if I keep lagging, though. Funny alpha times. Anyway, the big tree in Aethelurn, the Oak of Ages, that sort of anchors it. So it's a very magical forest, first off. Like, time dilates in there. Dimensions don't make sense. You can pass through the whole forest in 5 minutes or 5 years. That can be experienced as either and perceived outside as both. It's very cool. There's funny time stuff. There's funny travel. The tree in the middle of it is known as the Oak of Ages. It is possibly anchoring reality. Who knows? The important thing is that if the oak dies, the elves are sad, the forest will die. And the other important thing, hi, hey, hello, I'm here. The creature is maybe supplanted. Let's see if this runs. The other important thing is that the routes can be traveled through. You can actually pass through the world routes and zip through to travel from like one part of the world to another pretty rapidly. In the Warhammer game, this shows up as like a fast travel system that the Azrai get access to. I think it's pretty cool. There's all sorts of like possible explanations for that I'm very interested in. There's been little canonical explanation of how that works, but they have access to another very cool space called the Dreaming Wood, which is sort of like a dark inverse to the forest that also works as fast travel for some people, including demons. There's a whole faction of Azrai, like one of their like sort of kin band clades known as War Dancers that are strongly associated with this place and are sort of their priests are the only ones that can really navigate it without just disappearing into the void. All right, will this work? Let's see what happens when 3D models get on screen. No, fuck no. Nothing's okay. There's something going on there that I'm gonna get to the bottom of, but not right now. Haha, goodbye! Alright. Back to sick verses. Now it's just me bouncing. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Wood Elf lore. There's a lot there. Dark Elves are pretty good too. Their lore is directly tied to the High Elf lore in a lot of ways. Like, they do a lot of invading their cousins and being bitter. That all surrounds sort of the Darth Vader figure of the setting, Malekith, who is this chosen one who was, you know, mutilated and then coming back as an evil dark armored figure. Hey there, Erebor. Vermintide versus is happening. I'm a fucking rat. This game is in alpha and very janky and makes my model run like dog shit. Yes, I have been given the lesbian tag. The epic tag redeem strikes again. We are now Garfield Kart, lesbian, and Metal Gear. Fuck yeah. You like nature factions in general? You have the Nurgle's the only nature faction in 40k? Yeah, I mean, there's no room for nature in 40k, right? Like, the closest thing to a nature faction other than Nurgle is probably the Eldar, right?
I'll be back.
I don't think I technically count as lesbian, but pretty close. I prefer homo-flexible. I've got discerning taste. I like my men Solid Snake-esque. Yeah, the Eldar have like a bit of a nature leaning in 40k, but it's not the same thing, right? The aesthetic is nowhere near. They have like... They have a connection in nature that is very controlled, right? Because they make all their stuff out of like Wraithbone, which is this psychic manifested item. Their aesthetic is like all these sweeping organic curves and jewels and stuff, and that's generated through the warp, by the way. They have like a somewhat more wholesome connection to psychic energy than is common with the human factions in 40k, partly because they have like a ton of discipline, but also because they're like wired for it better. Hey, I'm a fucking rat! I can like really buzz them if I can get a good shot on the doorway there. Prefer bi because the flag is purple and purple is good color and everyone hot. You're speaking wisdom. I also like purple. I also like it when everyone's hot. Thank you, bi people. I don't label myself much anymore though. Like, I don't know. You're attracted to who you're attracted to, right? Girls are cool though. And Solid Snake and a whole list. I'm not gonna go through the list of like creatures that I'm attracted to, but there are some hot people out there. There's a really funny part in the Warhammer 40k like Rogue Trader game that came out recently. Actually, this doesn't go anywhere because it can't. Do the list, it's funny? No, I am already blushing. Yes, your mother is on the list. Everyone's mother is on the list. You all have very attractive mothers. The genetics is strong too. You can see the resemblance. Yeah, though, I realize now I shouldn't use creatures in that context. I like to refer to people as creatures, but there's something ominous about that, right? Vera did our moms? Vera would do your... I can't. God. Anyway, in the Rogue Trader game, there are some Eldar. Don't bully Vera, wait a minute. Vera's blushing already. Be nice to Vera. Vera's experiencing technical difficulties. Yeah, MILF collecting. Oh my god. I hope my mom's not watching. Yes, though, you can interact with Eldar in the Rogue Trader game because Rogue Traders in 40k are one of few groups of people that can talk to aliens and not get put to death. And as part of talking to aliens in Rogue Trader, you can mercilessly hit on them, and they do not like this at all. Believe it or not, most Eldar are not attracted to random goons from the Imperium, and you can really push it, which is very funny. You shouldn't, but you can, and it will affect how they think of you, and I appreciate the option. They really capture the experience of like, wow, elves, pretty, huh? The bullying is like merciless. Like I think that almost makes it better for some people who are out there lusting over the Eldari though, right? Slanesh approves, true. Look at that poor fucker. Goodbye. He got yeeted. I can't get yeeted. I'm immune because my 3D is off. No one would ever yeet me. Please don't, by the way. I'd have to refund it. It literally doesn't work. I'm gonna make it work though. I have plans to make the redeems. No, damn it! No, I can't be eaten. Here, let me simulate it. We can simulate eating. Wait. Did that work? Did that work for you? It worked for me. I kind of felt it, you know. I felt yeeted for a second. You would yeet real Vera. I can't be yeeted. I have judo skills. I took 3 months of judo in elementary school. I'm basically immovable. I am Havel the Rock. Lucky you did it! No! No! Lucky you did it! Flying away! I'm blasting off! There's a way to make this happen. You'll give it a good try? Fuck yeah, let's wrestle. I'm here for the combat sports. Oh god, I'm this guy again. I wish I could pick my character. I'm gonna cry here. This is all kind of right. Sure. Oh god. Sure. Oh, you got an idea? I'm intrigued by your idea. I'm thinking of holding like a development meeting, by the way. Like, I know that's a weird thing to pitch, but like the point is to like break the fourth wall sometimes, and I am working on rebrand stuff because I have my fancy new 3D model in development now. So I was thinking it might be fun to like have a like little scheduled thing where I talk about like my actual dev documents for stream and like what I'm doing for war and stuff and what kind of things I might commission and get input and like what you guys think is cool, what might work, what's a really bad idea. You can make fun of my drawings, etc., etc. I don't know if that's like interesting. That was an idea that I had, was that could be a cool thing to do. Plus, I could use the help because I am not organized and I can have all my friends keep me responsible and on task, hopefully. When I sit down and do this stuff, it's just like little mobiles with Warhammer characters on them spinning in my head. Like, I tried to be productive last night, and then I discovered this had come out, and oh shit, Warhammer Versus. So instead of doing any of that, I was troubleshooting and made it mostly work. Ooh woo! Appreciate y'all. You can keep me on task? Hell yeah. I need it. I don't have ADD meds right now. It's a shortage out there, so I need manual intervention. I need the newspaper when I'm like fucking spacing out. I just start like looking up the hamster dance and stuff when I'm left on my own devices. It's hard to focus. For like years and years, I have been the type that only can be like on task when I have an active deadline, and this is a very bad thing, mind. Like, that's no way to live, right? To like be constantly fueled by anxiety. Like, it's good enough for Steve-O, right? He did a Q&A where he talked about how like, hey, I'm doing a lot of stuff right now. I'm out there in the world and I am anxious all the time, but it's good because that energizes me to actually get stuff done. I feel that with every fiber of my being. It's like an executive dysfunction ADD thing, but I get stuff done. Like the one thing that I'm not late for is my deadlines and stuff, and I try to keep people in the loop on things. But I figured like, hey, what if you guys wanted to be kept in the loop as to the development path, and it could be fun. I'm up to a lot of stuff behind the scenes lately, just trying to get all that arranged. I've never been like in the position to commission a bunch of people for work before of any kind, so that's been kind of interesting. Like, I've been part of, like, development processes where people are commissioned for work, right? Like, I'm very familiar with, like, the systems that we use in-house at Warhammer, for example, for, like, getting artists on board for things, etc., etc. But it's different to, like, run your own production. Because, like, all this stuff is, like, obviously, like, either self-made or, like, sourced from friends or cobbled together on my end. It's interesting. Be having, like, timetables and stuff. New thing for me. I'm used to, like, running literary journals and stuff where I get writing from people and then I sit in a dark room for 20 hours and turn it into something. Like, that's the collaborative element that I'm more used to than having deadlines that I set for other people. Alright, I would like to load in as, like, a character that I can play. God, 0 to 250. That's brutal. My favorite melee weapon. Ooh, that's a tough one. Like, my favorite melee weapon in Vermintide or in general? I have a couple of, like, go-to favorites in, like, overall. My favorite in this game is definitely the dual daggers because they're fast and they're fun and they're zippy. I kind of like daggers and knives in general. I like the Fairbairn Sykes fighting knife, if you would like a specific example of a knife. I also like the Gerber Mark II. I think those are cool. They use those in Nom. They have like a cant to them, like a fencing foil, which is very cool. Those are an expensive knife, though. I will never own either of those. I like punching. Is punching a melee weapon? Like melee, hand-to-hand stuff. Big fan of that. I like combat sports, like I've been saying. I know a little boxing. You're gonna make a meme. Enjoy memeing, enjoy lurking. I'm gonna continue rambling. I like crowbars. I think crowbars are cool. Crowbars and, like, carpenter hammers. Those are cool melee weapons. There's something very charming about a carpenter hammer. There's a character I really like in Doro Hedoro who uses one of those a lot. You see it in Old Boy. Very classy little tooth-removing device. Go watch Old Boy if you haven't seen Old Boy. Old Boy is fucking sick. Old Boy. Hand-to-hand stuff is good, though. Like, I'm a sucker for, like, hand wraps and stuff. Like, hand wraps, ankle wraps, there's your melee weapon. Fucking cool. Big fan of that. Not an option in this game. The original, yes. The original is awesome. I didn't even know there was a remake, honestly. Is there a remake? Should I be, like, upset about this? Is this, like, a dramatic thing that I'm gonna cry over? Because Old Boy is, like, an important film. That's, like, my introduction to a lot of, like, Korean cinema. Yes, very upset. Alright, I can do that. I can be upset. I'm mad already. I'm already getting angry. Can you see? I'm in my angry box now, okay? I'm fucking pissed about Old Boy. I'm concealing the rage in my face. Oops. Haha. April Fool. Angie box, yes. That's my angry corner. I'm, like, self-containing it. That's what they told me to do in anger management, is to, like, wear a box on my head until the PO goes away. Uh-oh. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. They all see me! I'm exposed! Hey, bud. No! That's fine. They saw nothing. Oh! There's a learning curve here. I want to get good at the gunner runners because I style myself as a ninja. I like to think of myself as ninja-esque, you know? I blame the juggalos for that, but I'd like to, like, land some sick pounces here. Theoretically, the disablers in this kind of game, like Left 4 Dead 2 Versus, are really strong. Yeah, I like that. Fuck yeah. But because of the power differential in some of these characters, like the disabler heroes are really hard to deal with. Like, there are certain characters that can just instantly remove you if you get a pin on somebody. I'm interested to see how the meta of this evolves. Right now, it seems as if, like, the strongest heroes are the ones that can reliably, like, interrupt stuff or just play defense because the enemy damage is so low. So, like, healing and peel is really valuable. A little less so in the proper game, like, single player, because there it's, like, all about killing things fast enough, right? Trying to minimize the amount of time you have to interact with things. It's interesting. I'm hoping this like revitalizes the game a little bit though, because Dark Tide I do not like very much for certain reasons that I got into a bit earlier, mostly to do with like the characterization or lack thereof. And this game is just, I've always really liked it. I think I mentioned in my Go Live, like the first one of these is what got me into Warhammer in the first place. Big fan. Come hither. Ooh, fuck. Yeah, though I might go ahead and schedule a like little behind the scenes, peek behind the fourth wall type meeting, strategy, planning thing. Haha. That'll be in Discord. Also, if anyone wants to come play, please come let me know. I am trying to do the playing with viewers thing. I don't know if anybody has this though. It's kind of a niche game, I think. But yeah, let me know. I have been playing solo so far. I think it'd be strong to have like some strategies like who's doing what disables though. Because like all I've been able to do like playing solo is like look for good spots to snag people and try to like keep damage up. I've gotten okay damage numbers in a couple of the full games that I've played out, but it's a learning curve. There's the Storm Fiend. Oh my god. I don't think I've seen a boss here yet. This guy's fucked. Run! Run! Yeah, okay. That's that, I think. He's got a fancy costume. Been playing for a while. Doing silly video editing. I respect that. I have been learning to do silly video editing. It's a big process. There's a learning curve to it. I definitely made a video for one of my recent law school applications in which I included sick VTuber footage. I don't know if that was wise, but I am applying to top 20 law schools with a goofy image of me waving as an anime character. It'll be memorable at least, right? You have game but not installed? Oh, install it! We should play sometime. I really like this game, and I like having an excuse to play. Like, I enjoyed the Chaos Waste stuff for a while, the procedurally generated, like, rampage mode where you build out your roguelike stuff, but this is more fun. You get these 8-player rat lobbies. Vera. Well, look, the fourth wall is all about like plausibility, believability, right? Like, right, verisimilitude, the semblance of reality, and lawyers also are trying to generate the semblance of reality. You know, it's hand in hand. It's just a different form of fiction. I think I'm naturally suited. Really, though, I'm hoping to get into, like, IP law and copyright law, because I do a lot of stuff professionally now, like, associated with places like Warhammer, and, like, I work on VA stuff, right? Like, Shadow's concerned about, like, legal exposure on certain things related to the piracy episode that she wants to do. There's small creators, like the artists that I know, who have to deal with like their work being put on t-shirts and stuff. So I'm interested in like IP, copyright, that kind of thing. Like, because then I can be the good guy. I can like stick up for creatives and stuff. I can be part of the process on big productions. I can help make sure people don't get screwed. There's a lot of interesting elements to it that I find appealing. I think it'll be good. I'll see if I get it anywhere, though. I like what I do right now. Like, I enjoy streaming. I enjoy contract writing. I enjoy teaching. All of that's fun, but I want more, damn it. I think I miss being in school as part of it. I need somebody to tell me what to do. I can't stay on task without it, right? It's the constant problem. Need those constant deadlines so I can be occupied, keep myself busy. As if I've not had enough to do recently. This fall is going to be really exciting if I get in somewhere, though, because then I'm going to be like teaching. Because I've got a long-term commitment for that already. I'm going to be doing my substitute thing. I'm going to be going to law school. I'm going to be like streaming on the weekends, making videos and stuff. Once a week I'll sleep. Oh, thank you, Manny. I appreciate the vote of confidence. I think it'll be cool. We'll see what happens. That's my heads up about the upcoming schedule change, though. I think these guys are, yeah, they're in trouble. They're down to 2. We get 0 points in our score. I've lost track. These are blending together a little bit from the crashes and stuff. Alright, Sienna. There we go. This is very satisfying to me. I wish this was a thing in Left 4 Dead 2 versus, right? You just get a giant Gatling gun, a Ratling gun, sorry, and go to town. She's so good. I almost feel bad. Not really though, like almost. God. Yeah, no clutching allowed. What's some other like interesting lore stuff for Warhammer? The Norskins, which are what the other human guys in the Paxworn are from, are not a unified force. There are a lot of different tribes strewn across like what's effectively the Arctic supercontinent, some of which connect with Warhammer Eastern Europe, some of which connect with like Warhammer North America. It's a cool thing. Why am I this guy? Someday I'll choose my character. Sure. I don't know. Walk it off. Alright, easy. I hope this is a good weapon. Something's still in alpha. They're working on it. Boy, that's a... Alright. Ow. Yeah, though, the different sections of, like, Norskin types are all over the world. Like, the... I don't have all the names on hand, but I think the Kurgans are one of them. There's, like, all sorts of different Norskin tribes. These guys are called, like, Rotbloods, but I'm not sure if that's their tribal association, just because they're Nurgle worshippers who literally have rot in their blood.
Head there, mayflies.
It's cool though, like they've got like a disparate culture, and despite being like strongly chaos aligned, they aren't necessarily all chaos worshippers. It's just that like the divinities that are associated with chaos are like more acceptable up there, right? Like they have different euphemisms for different parts of the chaotic pantheon, right? Like they have the Raven for Tzeentch. That's how they talk about him, as the Raven. They don't use the big spooky chaos god name, you know, the snake for Slanesh, the bull for Khorne. And some of those traditions are like quite innocent, like that's just what people worship because that's who their parents worshipped and that's what their tribe is about. But the more peaceful ones inevitably sort of get gobbled up by warpath chaos marauders, because it turns out that being powered by chaos is a pretty easy way to win a little fist fight. Because it's like so culturally open to chaos, there's a lot of footholds that these different tribes have, and no real like central organization because haha, chaos. So over time, there's a lot of corruption that takes place. Got that guy up. That's a really strong ability here. I think part of the problem that people are having is they don't understand they have to like manually set their talents at the very start of each session because the game is an alpha and it doesn't really preserve that. Ow. Fuck. We're getting fucking owned.
You're sorely winded, Vera.
There we go. They'll iron out the bugs with this over time, and I'm very excited to see it. Like, I want like a leaderboard. I want ranked Vermintide II versus... Like, structurally, that reminds me of Dark and Darker a little bit, like, which is, I guess, always kind of a versus game, but maybe they'll make it work. Anything to get interest back in the game. Ow, God. Please. I feel toasty. Yeah, okay. We're behind by a little bit. If we can make it to the, like, end of this part, we'll be in decent shape. I think the part that they died on is the part up ahead where they were doing the banner setup, so if we can just claim it, then hey, we're there. This first level is, like, worth the least points anyway. What's another interesting Warhammer thing? Gnomes! Gnomes are canon now, sort of. because Warhammer's canon has such like a long history with different developers, different things have been put into and out of both the fantasy and 40k settings at different times. Squats are sort of the famous example in the 40k fandom. We still say things get like squatted when they're decanonized somehow. Although squats are back in, sort of. They are the space dwarves, effectively, or were like a variety of abhuman that had a dwarfen stature. There are ratlings, by the way, which are like the halflings of the setting as well. But squats were sort of written out and now are back in the most recent edition in a form. They're like the iron something. And they're very interesting now, but gnomes also have been re-added as of Warhammer 4th edition. So like they were part of fantasy in the very early stages, like just a creature in White Dwarf. I think there was one like fan favorite adventure in White Dwarf that was like a Hercule Poirot takeoff, and that was like a gnomish detective adventure. He's back also, I believe, but as a halfling. The deal with gnomes in Warhammer Fantasy is that they resemble halflings very much, and as a result are confused with them and disguise themselves as them because they are sort of disliked and distrusted. They're shadow aligned and use shadow magic naturally, which is not considered a good thing by witch hunters and the like. Shadow magic's good for like deceiving and all sorts of crime. You can create like false gold with it. You can make people believe your lies. You can impersonate people. Your game can crash horribly. Oh god. Not again. Hide from the crash in my box here. Yeah, this is cooked. That's fine. The important thing is the lore. Prologue, uh-oh. Don't want this. Or do we? Probably not. There is a lot of good lore building in this, though. Yeah, the prologue / intro is like basically a tutorial. I don't think I need that.
Good evening.
Good evening. I guess I haven't shown off the keep here. I loaded in by mistake, but it's a neat little environment. There's like a hub for the gameplay. You can get paintings and things that you can set into these. It's neat stuff. This is a level 1 keep, so everything's blocked off. But over time, they'll open it up, I promise. Bitrate? Uh-oh. My bitrate is like 6,000 right now. That might be part of what the problem is. I could reduce it? Question mark. Can I do it? Encoding overloaded. Oh, yeah, okay. So I've been experimenting with a higher bitrate recently, and that might be part of the problem? Question mark. Let me drop my bitrate a little bit. I'm at 2,500. What the fuck? My GPU chugging? I don't know what's chugging. I blame Vermintide. Here's 4,000 bitrate. Question mark. Yeah, my GPU seems fine. My memory is the only thing that's like even strained a little bit. What a mystery. I appreciate the technical shout out though. This game has been okay. I don't want this. Chaos Voice. Interesting. You can load directly into it. That's not versus though. I could bump down the game a little. Also, I'm not sure why this is like competing with Waterdose specifically. It's weird. The game itself runs fine, and like none of my stuff is maxed. It's a mystery. Oh well. I blame Chaos. That's the like easy go-to, right? Is that it's Chaos's fault. Vera computer upgrade win? No, Erebor, I just upgraded it. I really did. I had like my big upgrade arc. I got like my fancy new motherboard. I got my new processor. I got like all the memory. It's so powerful now. I don't know what's happening. It's because of the rats. They've been chewing on the cables. You need to switch to a faster encoding preset. Oh my god, I don't know what that means. Wait. Oh, look how cute. My game's so tiny for some reason. It's all squished in there. Second computer, oh god. Output. How do I do this? Live scuff on stream. Alright, we're gonna encode faster now. Here, I've bumped the encoding a little bit, see if this works. Huh? Huh? Oh my god, is this, have I solved the problem? Wait, did I do it? Did I save the stream? Second computer? Oh god. I don't even know how I'd begin to set that up. That's like scary to me. Like, not because I'm afraid of the expense, which I am, but like the complexity. Yippee! I did it! It streams! Look, I'm like not even as laggy anymore after 2 hours. Thank you for the hot tip regarding encoding. I don't know how any of this stuff works, so I appreciate und cola! Yippee! I don't know the whole bit. I gotta look that up. Hang on. There's lyrics for that. Wait. I've seen lyrics for the Fortnite und cola. How do I get these? Excuse me, as I aggressively minimize to look for Fortnite and cola lyrics. Any German speakers? Oh, he's so formal too. I got the translation here. Cute. I wish I had cola. I got like a shitload of water though. Oh, that's great. You can't hear the rats talking very easily during normal gameplay because they're very quiet and they're very far away and they appear very briefly before you splat them. Rat splatting is the major gameplay loop, right? So, getting to hear their like evil little chitters is great. Damn, I can't get out here. Hey, bud. Got him. That's like a kill, isn't it? Oh yeah, these guys are fucked. Very nice. Look at that teamwork. We got him. We're heroes. Well, we're not heroes, but we're very good at being rats. I feel very rat-like and effective now. All right. Come hither. Nope. I'm burned. That's progress, though. Is this an open playtest? Yes, this is an open playtest. This is the alpha. This is for everyone. Feel free to come play if you'd like. It will make it slightly harder to not crash, but that's okay, well worth. They had a closed playtest of this previously. This is the open one now.
No, she's gone. Carillion's gone.
Catch up with heroes. This is the end of the map, by the way. You gonna back into this? No. They have been stopped right at the end. Hey, there's a Twitch streamer in my game, but I can't see his name. Haha. I wonder if that works. Like, has anyone ever like actually joined someone's stream because they saw twitch.tv and someone's name on Steam? Like, the only reason I can imagine doing that is to like, I guess if you had like a really good game, right? Or if you wanted to like just harass them because you're playing League of Legends together or something. I definitely one time, I forget what game I was playing, but I joined someone's stream to like give them shit because they were so bad. I think that's why people would show up to my stream. Maybe it works that way then. Is that toxic? Probably. I'm in my reformed arc though. I would never be toxic anymore. Did you only check the Twitch stream when it was a famous player just to make sure it was really him? It was. That's kind of cool. I guess if you're like recognizable to people, that's like a whole other element too. I'm probably recognizable to somebody. Ow. Oh my god. I wanted to change my talents, I forgot to. Oh my god. Only 9 minutes until you can attempt murder. Uh-oh, oh boy. If murder is being attempted, then I might need to change my settings again to make this shit work proper, because I don't want to crash like while people are joining. I keep forgetting that I have to set my talents every fucking time. I don't feel much credit to team with no temp health. That's my like one big advice piece is please set your fucking temp health talent at least. Like this is rough having literally none. Yeah, okay. I am literally going to go do that because haha. Can I like just set all of my career talents and things? I don't want to go through one by one actually. That's too much of a bother. What I'd like to do is play her. Like I know this class pretty well. I've played a lot of Corellian's different careers. These, sure. Sure, question mark? Yep. Yeah, this is all... That's alright. I actually know what this build is. Time to visit top meta Vermintide II strats.net. Time to visit virus.com, everyone. Come get virus BitTorrent. Trojan strategy, computer infection, Nurgle virus disease, pause.net. I'm getting my kernel infected anyway. I'm installing Helldivers too. I'm a Helldivers gamer now. That's the way of things, right? We need the Helldive, and we need the kernel infected to do it. Viruses. Hell yeah, I get that Dr. Mario virus enthusiasm in here. Alright, thou shalt redeem talents in menu. Or shall we? Is it crashing? Oh my god. Up. Up. Yeah, let's go. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah. I love alpha build. I love alpha build. I love alpha build. Vermintide, too hot for TV. Yippee! Wait, I hold this up. Mein Gott, Leute! Mein Mama hat wieder ein Fucker laut, dass ich Cola trinken darf. Wie cool ist das bitte? Jetzt so gefordert und trink Cola. Yippee! I don't speak German. Und trink Cola. You know why I know how to pronounce that? Because I've seen it 1,000,000 times. That is the only reason. I've seen like the songified version too. I know the Cola Kid. I love the Cola Kid. You gotta get like the right cadence for the delivery too, right? All right, how do I like unfuck this? I'm going lowest graphics. We're going like brutal difficulty on the fucking graphical scale. All right, VSync. No, we don't need that. Debug mode, worker thread. What are worker threads? Do I want these? I want to beat you in a correct pronunciation. Joke's on you. You can't redeem shit because my computer is too laggy to get things pelted at me. I don't know why that's happening, but it is. Wait, maybe now on lowest corresponding to my CPU's core count. Do I want full threads on Vermintide? Is that what's eating Warudo? Is it like competing with Warudo? Maybe I can bump that down? Oh my god. At least the game runs. Jesus. Here, let's see if lowest quality means I can get pelted with stuff again, because I need to have my pronunciation corrected. Correction in chat. Hang on. Did I pronounce Fortnite right at least? Like, I think I got that part. I was confident in my Fortnite pronunciation. I know the, like, tempo he does it at, kind of. Alright, let's give this one more beautiful 3D shot. Hey there, Natasha. Can I check out Clip Zone? Yes, I can. Give me uno momento. I'm gonna try a cool new feature. Clip Zone. Thank you very much. This is not in web. How do I like play this on stream? I'm trying to like get more confident with the live updating stuff. Can I like add a media source? Ah, here I am. Hi, hey, welcome. Create new media source. Can I play this? Browse, downloads. Ooh, is this gonna work? I'm blasting off! Wait, what the fuck?
Looks like you might be blasting off
It
again!
works with no audio, okay. It's beautiful though, thank you. Glorious. It played exactly one time and now it's gone. That's so good. Alright. Well, check that out in Clip Zone if you want to see that. That's awesome, thank you. Okay. A thing of beauty, to be sure. Let's see if I like can avoid lagging out now. Like, this is like the fourth time? Fourth time's the charm. Fourth wall. I appreciate your meme ID, thank you. I feel very memed now. Alright, are we there? Oh my god, with lowest quality settings and an updated bitrate, have we done it at last? Yes? No? I can't tell. Maybe things will be fine. Maybe I will close my model again. We're gonna give it the level best here. This PNG is adorable, but I want to use my model while I can. Soon it'll be taken away from me. That's right, when I get my new fancy professional 3D model, this version of me dies forever. My ego will wither away, dispersed through the internet. Can probably up the bitrate now that I'm on potato settings and my encoder is faster. Fuck no, I can't. It is the same shit. I will never know. Goodbye. Oh no! I've dodged the anvil thanks to lag. Oh no! I have to refund these. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. I haven't set up for my PNG. It's hard. I'm learning moves still. That's my weekend project. I gotta get Yeet set up for the PNG because Anvil simply destroyed me. I was blasted out of existence. That can happen too. Anvils are dangerous. Yes, though, this version of me will be destroyed. I will be reborn, like the mighty phoenix. I do think about some of that stuff. Eclipse Phase, one of the RPGs that I play, is like really big on like what happens to your ego over time and how like different forks of it can develop in different ways, and it's interesting, right? Because like nobody who like first encounters me when I'm presenting with my fancy new stuff will have the same initial impression of me as anybody that comes in and sees soba.png, etc., right? It kind of shifts how people perceive you. Then again, I'm trying to like come behind the fourth wall as often as I can, right? So there's some genuinity that comes with that, the fictionalized sort of genuinity, but you know, it's interesting. Like, I think, like, how is this gonna, like, change the way that all my stuff is perceived if I have, like, a cohesive graphic design team behind it, right? Like, do I seem like less of a person suddenly? Because, like, hey, look, it's an anime. I don't know. I'm already, like, only half a person to begin with, so I gotta hold on to what I can, right? Alright, here we go. I appreciate the rat ragdolls a lot. They're part of what makes the normal game fresh. Seeing it like this is really cool too. Yeah, though it's interesting to be like in the public eye at all. Like, I guess the first exposure I got to that was like working for Warhammer, although I wasn't like telling people to their face that often that was happening. It would like definitely shape like certain encounters I had with folks like out and about. Like at my high school reunion, there were people who were like really freaked out about it. Oh, you didn't realize I died? No. A ragdolled rat is a dead rat. But like that and the Love Web stuff both kind of put my work out in front of like a lot of eyes, which I'm not used to. And then like I'm reconciling that with like my weird live in-person sort of vibe, my virtual in-person fictional creature here live real person vibe. And it's weird to reconcile those. Telling my boss that I was like VTubing, being like, hey, so can I talk about Warhammer stuff on my stream and like on social media and stuff? That was a little awkward for me because then I have to reconcile like my professional circle. Very cool people, by the way. Everyone that works on 4th edition, like really good dudes, but little embarrassing to have this version of myself put forward into that crew, who is not really the like VTuber Twitch stream crowd for the most part. There's some like Warhammer OGs in the squad there. Uh-oh. It's true, we love our silly ragdolls. I wish I could be a silly ragdoll right now, however, I'll do more testing with that later. Something about this game just does not play nicely with Warada. Killer Bean ragdoll flips. Yo, Killer Bean fans in chat, let's go. Fucking love Killer Bean. Like, let me tell you, why didn't that work at all? All of those bullets got eaten by the fucking balcony. I see how it is. I feel robbed. I'm gonna play the Killer Bean game live on stream, by the way. That's inevitable. I hope everyone is hyped for Killer Bean, the most pog champion of all games, the movie franchise. How do you join? Add me on Steam first thing. Let me post my Steam link in chat. Oh my god, she's up already. Let me finish the round, then I'll abandon these guys, and then we can convene, be expert Warhammer heroes together. That game is going to be either exceptionally and surprisingly good or straight trash, no in between. I agree. It might be both. Will it be the new Bad Rats? Will it be the new, it's going to be the new Helldivers too. You don't know how to Warhammer? That's okay. I will guide you. We will Warhammer together. I think all of the characters are unlocked for verses, like even ones that you don't normally have unlocked, so you can get in as deep as you want, but like anybody with like a shout ultimate is going to be easy to play compared to some of the other crew members. Like, I would not recommend Slayer Barden. I would recommend Witch Hunter Saltspire, that kind of thing. The first Bean type game. Yes, the Stranding type experience is now replaced with the Bean type game. Where the hell are these guys going? Alright, well, I'm gonna cook them when they walk out here. This guy's got a shield, but I've got fire, so... Uh-oh, he saw me. My stealth is ruined. Fire! Yeah, he just pushed through, that's fine. I did some damage. Hey, you found me, hell yeah. Look, it's you! Friend request received. Excellent. I believe that my... What is my name on Steam anyway? I know this. I should know this. How do I tell what this is? Whatever. Oh god. I've been locked out of the game now. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. No, no, no. Vermintide. No, my precious orb. Alright, well, this is a soft lock. This is the close cousin of a crash. No, there we go. Fuck yeah. Easy game. I'm tempting fate by constantly... Yeah, okay, that should be the Steam name. That's my name, Vera Samilla, it's me! I'm Vera Samilla, wait a minute! That Steam name that you're putting on stream, the Steam name on stream is my name, as it should be. Feel free to add me, by the way, if you'd like to play games, this one or other ones. I am going to begin playing some multiplayer games, both on stream and just in Discord. If there are any based League of Legends enjoyers who would like to be competitive gamers, I'm down for that. I want to play Helldivers, trying to get my kernel paused with Helldivers energy, super worth. Been meaning to try that for a while. Might stream it at some point. I don't know about like super flooded categories like that though. Here's like another peek behind the fourth wall. When I think about like what's good to stream, I'm afraid of both games that nobody watches or ever will watch, which I have played a few of anyway, haha. or games that like are really like crowded, because then you have to scroll a shitload to get to the recommended or to get down to your stream if you're watching in like most viewers mode, which is common. People do that. Real Manny hack. Could that be the real Manny the hack? Wait a minute. Gasp. Let me accept that in just a second. Could be. Ow. Well, I got it down, and then she got popped up immediately. Packmaster, can I like just do it here? I can get 2-pack the frog, right? Tupac was alive the whole time, he was just a frog. They're like BMing, aren't they? Damn. Joining failed. Yes, I am in a full game. I will invite you to an empty lobby now. Learn from my mistakes, though. As soon as you load in as a non-rat, although I hope you get to be a rat first, because it's joyous, definitely set your talents to, like, something, because having them set to nothing is really hard. Playing in, like, super hard mode then. Turbo challenge difficulty. All right, let me get back to what the hell? All right, that's mysterious. I think it like literally swapped me teams in the game that I... What happened there? Whatever. All right, invite to game. Can you join? Looks like it. Very cool. Let's do at least one run here. I may have to go in like 20 minutes or so because I got to get food tonight, and I did not plan well for stream, haha, because I was troubleshooting, haha, but it didn't work anyway. The lesson is to test things with my model while doing something in OBS. Maybe I should like literally test stream stuff. Don't worry, the scuff is part of the charm. Right? Haha, wink wink. I'll get that figured out though. Like, there's something happening with the interaction. I'd like to stream this again at some point because I like it very much. I like talking about Warhammer mostly. Also, if there's any more like Warhammer questions / subjects, I would love to continue rambling. I think I had like an aimless metaphysical discussion earlier, but I am a lore resource for fantasy, kind of, sort of. I confuse Nurgle's Rot with Nurgle's Pox, but mostly good. I have the broad strokes down, right? I'm supposed to write about them, so it's only right that I can, you know, write my course when charting through to the good info. All right, let's do it. We're rats. To all chat, it's shift plus enter. Excellent. We're getting advice from this guy on how to be really toxic, but I have it hidden away as part of my general stratagem. I don't think you should tell people to use all chat or how to use all chat, frankly. Like, that's one of those mysteries that's like too powerful for most of us to be trusted with. I turn that shit off in League, like in MOBAs and stuff. I just don't want to know. I don't want anybody's opinion. There's Penis Inspector, the most feared and powerful wizard. I have fallen through the fucking world. What? How? Okay, well, now I'm here. I shouldn't have done that. Oh my god. I need a... There we go. They're working the kinks out. You can get like some damage out by just pouncing people like that, but it's not necessarily safe. Don't you make that face at me. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Like in a like when you're doing ironing, you know, like that kind of kink workout. Like an ironing board, or I don't know, brushing your hair really hard if you slept funny. What do you mean, sure? Oh shit. Well, I can't get that guy. I'm in too close. Now that this guy has the power of all chat, let me just translate for you. The first thing in all chat is like kind of accusations, like someone's skeptical about whether it's legit what he's being hit with or not. Well, that's the way, right? Like nothing. Uh-oh. All right, Erebor. Oh, nope, nope, we're good, we're good. We only lost contact with the host for a second. That's my one fear, is that we're gonna have to like reconnect because it's gonna fucking crash.
You need healing, Guardian.
This is going well though. Yeah, get him! Fuck yeah! Yo, for someone fearing their rat skills, you're a natural gunner there. That was a shitload of damage. Ah, damn. I should never pick the fire rat, it's just not very good. This rattling gunner though, hey, I'm a fucking rat. Rattling gun with the Gatling gun. Nice. I got a lot of damage in his body there. You do need to like actually down people after you knock them over to kill them. I would like to do that. Yeah, there we go. Now he's dead. I have killed him. That's my pro tip, is it's good to like thoroughly kill people. Double tap like in Zombieland, except you're a fucking rat. The Poison Wind Globadiers are so cute. I think these are my favorite special in general, just because I like them. I like gas masks and stuff to begin with, and they're just so charming. They're having such a good time. Like, they're throwing orbs out here. They got their neat little outfits. They're very polite. Oh, he's literally accusing this guy of hacking. That's awesome. Chat has not been very spicy so far in the in-game stuff, but people don't understand all of the techniques yet, so... I think we've got them here. Yeah, Gatling gunners are very strong. I wish I had like a melee attack though. That's all I want is the little rat, is like some kind of swipe. I think that, I guess the specials really don't have that though. Left 4 Dead 2 versus a little more flexible, I think. You have like a normal swipe on all the infected. That's just part of their behavior, it's the design.
Oh, shut up.
Alright.
Narcissistic nag.
They're down to 3. Nice, got that guy. Ah, damn. She ran through the gas. Some people are like really good as the different heroes in this. I used to play this at a pretty high level, like I was playing the higher difficulties, but I've never been like a proper expert. Yeah, I'm glad you like it enough. This is like kind of a different experience from the, from the normal like wave clear stuff. Because there it's all about like target priority and like making sure things die really, really fast and staying safe. Here it's just about like killing the specials. Like that's the challenge, is like the player versus player element, obviously, but the higher difficulties are a whole different game. You don't want to get hit at all on high difficulties. Oh, he went flying! Oh my god. That guy went off the fucking wall. That's great. Goodbye. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, like you play on like Kata and suddenly getting hit by a gutter runner for like 2 seconds will just drain all of your health. This is not quite that. I don't think this guy's gonna make it by himself. He's kind of in a spot. I guess he gets score for this though too. So it's worth trying to push it out. Yeah, that's that. evil boner has been defeated. Those are our foes, our evil boner and penis inspector. This is the Warhammer community. Bless their hearts. Bless their fucking hearts. God bless us, everyone. Or Nurgle in this case. That's the kind of game this is. I don't know if we want that, but we're getting it. COVID and all. Alright, now we're not the rat, so the game is sad.
A mayfly concoction. Huh.
Alright. I'm playing a character I actually really know. Holy shit. And my stuff is reset. Uh-oh. Let me very quickly try and... Oh god. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Sure, all that's fine. Why not? I hope those are good talents. It resets your shit every time! I guess we're all just chilling down here right now, huh? That's fine. Probably for the best, honestly. They can't come in because it's the safe zone. It's safe in here. I feel safe. Enough time for me to change my build a little bit. Yeah, okay, that all seems good. I thought better of all my choices. I'm indecisive like that, though. Like, I sent off my ref sheet, and I'm already thinking, like, gee, I want to change the earring, and I may yet do that. I'm both, like, horribly indecisive and, like, shy to put that forward when I'm collaborating with people and stuff. Because it's impolite to, like, constantly be like, hey, what if we did this instead? What if, you know that thing we talked about 3 weeks ago? Let's do this. I blame ADD. Are we good? Yeah, we're good. Onward! Oh, God! There was gas waiting. Because they had gas, like, waiting for us, so, yeah. Haha. I hit this guy? No, I missed twice. No one saw that.
Over there, Lumberfoots.
Not a big fan of the new tag system, though. It used to be that the only thing you could tag are, like, enemies, and now it's locations and all this stuff. We love our little ADD VTuber. I hope so. That is the only kind of VTuber I can be, I think. Someday I'll be a medicated ADD VTuber. We can look forward to that. If I'm lucky, that'll happen sometime before I get Live 2D next fucking year. Uh-huh. Ow. Oh god, I'm burning. I'm fucking melting. Oh god, the Gatling rat. It hurts so bad. Everything hurts. We're fine. Why me? It's just me. I am a magnet. I also would target the Shade, though. I have, like, a kind of defensive ability, but this is one of the lower HP classes. I cannot get up there. I'm cooking down below instead. Oh god. I have, like, 1 health. Oh my god. Come on, get up, Marcus. Get up, Marcus. Please get up. No. I don't know why I got attacked out of that. Alright, we have a problem here. Little concerning. I'm gonna invoke this. Okay, here we go. Well, a little more fire couldn't hurt the situation, right? Sure. We are really choked off here. They made it a choke point with their choking gas. Good place to hold, probably. He's got you, okay.
No use to us dead.
The next level of stratagem is starting to use the proximity voice chat and stuff, right?
Come along, over there.
How do you? Can I? Let me try caps lock. Hello? No, I just died instead. Ah, the Pale Queen, yeah. I don't think I have time to go through the whole Elven Afterlife, but it's interesting. There's stuff there. Slanesh has come up a couple times this stream for some reason, and boy, does she like elves.
No time for resting, Gorrington.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Rumney singing scorn, I'm down.
yeah, this guy's talking about the problem.
You did your duty.
I also didn't get to pick my class. There are a couple that you really want for this. Like, I'm pretty sure at this point that you really, really want, like, Priest Saltzpyre and Mercenary Kruber, etc., etc. Sub. Alright. One more round as the rat, and then I think I gotta run, because it is getting dangerously late here. I may already face some challenges getting dinner. I didn't plan well, that's fine. Ooh. Bounty Hunter seems decent also. The one shot is pretty good when the whole goal is just killing specials.
Down and out. What should learn, mates?
This guy is just running too. What? Wow. Oh, he was invisible. I see. So he had like company when he was running up. Fair enough. Oh god, it is late actually. I may rudely have to bail in a second, but let me fry the dwarf first. If we could just kill them all really fast, that'd be great. Then I'd feel satisfied. I don't feel like I have to run out. Getting somewhere. Two of them are low. The problem is Penis Inspector. That guy's keeping up the flank. We've been needed, fair enough. Oh, that missed. Oh my god. So you can't do it while jumping. I will probably roll in like 5 minutes or so then to get foodstuffs and all. He's been inspecting too much, his tempo's off.
Time for a bit of shielding.
This is a really low scoring game. This is actually the last part of the map. I guess everyone's just getting railed, like this is tough stuff, you know? It's very easy to get bogged down when there's coordinated like spawns of some of the ranged units, just because it's so much chip damage, and they deliberately didn't put much healing in for this. Ah, damn. Yay, I'm a fucking rat! Damn it. The little animation when the Packmaster gets him is so much fun. I think theoretically it's possible to win from this position. Wait, is this the second or third part? I'm not sure. I think, yeah, this is the third. This is the third. There are a lot of points up for grabs here, I'll put it like that. Speaking of things up for grabs, I'm gonna try and get at least one more sick grab here before I have to run.
Get up, Hunter.
Can I get in here?
We get it, Bard, you're tough. Now heal.
I think we're about to bump him over, actually. If I could just spawn. Hey. Oh god, this is a weirder angle I'm taking. I've like snuck up on him. Oh, this is sick. No! That bastard. He heard it. Packmasters have a very loud, distinct sound they make because they're really bad for you. Haha. Oh, this might be good. Are you coming in as a fire rat? Yeah, we're gonna get him here. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Got him. Victory, sort of. That's really fun. There's something cathartic about like bringing heavy TF2 into Vermintide. I think we did great. I think I need to run so I can desperately try to make it out to get fast food stuff. I will play more of this soonish. If people want to play in Discord, I will set up like a day for that. I'm also going to schedule the Behind the Fourth Wall strategy meeting where I ramble and ADD out about my various future plans. So, who can we raid? Following. Yeah, let's raid May. May is fucking awesome. She's super nice. She recommended me to my 3D modeler. Apparently, she is playing Halo 2 blindfolded, which is fucking awesome, so good luck to her.
It's not bug buns, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. Apologies for the scuff. Yeah, May is a sweetheart. Bless her heart. Yeah, though, I will refine my things. Farewell, goodbye.